How's it going, everybody? This is Gutierrez, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
Welcome, Story of the Fight listeners. My name is Ramiro. That's my boy, Will. This is where we come together to talk all things mixed martial arts. It's a late night for your boy, dude.
It's laid out.
It is late. It is Mimi's time. It's past my bedtime. But you know what? We're here to talk fights nonetheless, man. Busy weekend? Got a lot going on?
You know, it's holidays, so a lot of moving pieces. Got to get all this
stuff. Are you done with your holiday shopping?
Oh, dude, you know, got to please everybody. You know what I mean?
No procrastination? You know? You're all done or what?
No. I'm
no?
Still moving forward. But there's fights, you know. It's hard. It's hard. Ganscow coming in already saying, what time is it? It's late. We're going to probably do this pretty quick this episode. We're going to cover One Fight Night 17, and then we're going to cover UFC Vegas 83. If there's any specific fights you want to listen to, if you don't want to watch the whole episode, there's going to be timestamps for every single fight. So if you want to jump to the UFC, it'll be there. If you want to jump to a specific fight in one, it'll be there. We're just going to run through it.
Let's do it, man. Let's get started. One Fight Night 17.
One Fight Night 17, Roman Kryklia versus Alex Roberts.
Dude,
big old boys.
So as soon as you started talking to me about this card and you were telling me like it's all Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh, there's going to be bangers left and right. For sure. For sure. And so I actually started off watching the Kryklia versus Roberts fight. That was the first one I watched. And then after that, like I bounced around. So that was the very first fight I watched. And then I watched the very first fight after that. I don't know, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Watching like an Avengers series, you know, just like here and then there. But dude, crazy start to the fight, man.
Yeah, shout out Genevieve says it was the shortest fight night. It won't take long to get through. Yeah, the fight night 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it ended before 8 p.m. They went through all their fights within 3 hours. Absolutely incredible.
I love it. I love it.
That's the way it should keep them coming. But like you said, Kryklia versus Roberts started off quick. Have you seen Kryklia before?
No. This is my first time watching Kryklia.
Okay. Huge. He's gigantic. He's been a light heavyweight. This was a heavyweight. He's a kickboxer. He's coming over to Muay Thai to get a Muay Thai belt. This is a vacant belt Roberts and Kryklia are fighting for. And they're talking to him. They're like, how do you feel about getting the elbows going in here? And he's like, I'm so excited. He's like, I want to throw elbows. But I mean, the guy looks like a world beater, you know? He looks like a superhero. Blunderbubb says the noises the ring was making during this fight. Yeah, let's we might as well show it because they let us. Give me 1 sec here. I'll pull it up. Let's see, because it did start off quick.
Yes.
This is the very beginning of the fight. We got Kryklia versus Roberts here. Kryklia is on the left with the Ukrainian flag on his waist. Roberts on the right. It's gonna start quick. So here we go.
Dude,
30 seconds
long
in drops
extension, man.
Yeah, he really gets a lot of reach on it, you know?
He does. And that's the thing, like Roberts avoiding shots, moving straight back when you have somebody with that crazy reach. No bueno.
Yeah. So that was the finish there. But you know, he cracks him early at the beginning of the fight, but then Roberts did a good job. You know, he came back, he got back up, and he hurt Kryklia at the end of that round with like, I don't know if it was a back elbow or like a back fist, kind of on an exchange where he missed. They were in the clinch, he missed, and he brought it back. It was either the elbow or the like a hammer fist, and he just like he wobbled just a little bit.
Wobbled him a little bit.
Oh, I was like, oh no. But you know, the round ended like right there. Genevieve says he's 6'7". He has nothing but reach. Yeah, and he uses it.
But he uses it.
Not everybody uses it.
Not like Stefan Struve, you know what I mean? Like this guy uses it.
Poor Stefan Struve. He's like the go-to.
He's the example. Of how not to use your height and your reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a cool.
We should just have his picture ready to go whenever we mention him. Just a shot of him getting dropped, like all hunched over, matching the other person's height.
There's the picture of was it when Mark Hunt knocked him out, and it's just him it's like his head like this, and Mark Hunt, it's like from behind, and Mark Hunt's thrown like the overhand and like broke his jaw. It's crazy. But
brutal.
Kryklia and Roberts, fantastic. He drops him early. Roberts did a good job of, he has that like leaping, lunging lead hook, and he was just creating car crashes because like you don't want to sit on the outside of a guy like Kryklia because he's gonna just pick you apart and drop you with those long shots. Exactly. And he's like, you know what? I'm not hanging around anymore. I'm blitzing. And he blitzed him like over and over and over again. And try to make it a dogfight, because that's kind of what you have to do. You have to smother someone like that. And then the second round started, and they were crashing into each other. And eventually, Kryklia, he just puts together combinations really well. Like you could tell these guys are strikers first. And there's a cool clip from a ringside camera. I don't know if I can make this bigger. I can't, but check this shit out.
Oh, damn. Good stoppage.
They're like, nah.
That's it. You're good. You're good.
Damn.
It was a good fight, man.
And then Chingiz hops in there, and you're like, oh my god, these guys are all just killers.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
By the way, his nose busted, huh?
Yeah, dude. Well, he's got a snout on him,
he
got
really does.
Nose. Yeah, but I mean, Roberts did a good job, dude. It's just Kryklia, you could tell he's just on another level, dude. Like he just hits so hard. Genevieve says so many naps. Yeah, I think only one fight went to decision on this card. I think.
Yeah, and that might have been a fight of the year contender.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, that's basically it, right? Kryklia becomes kickboxing champ now. He's also the Muay Thai champ. So he's got 2 belts now. I don't know who's next for him at that size. I mean, he's just. I can't wait to. If you haven't seen his fights before, check him out on YouTube. They have a lot of his full fights on YouTube. He's very fun to watch. Like I said, someone who uses his reach well, actually. But we can move on to that fight of the year contender.
Is it Smokin Joe versus Lessei?
Smokin Joe.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why. Tapology. Let's change that. Tapology had it was Nicholas Larson on Tapology, but that did not happen, and instead he fought Lessei on short notice. Don't go ahead, talk about it, Ramiro. I'll change it right now.
Okay, so Smokin Joe coming out with the outside leg kicks, right? He busts his foot. I don't know what happens, but his foot gets super bloody. And every time he's kicking Lessei, it sounds so loud because it's just the blood on his foot splattering on his thigh over and over again.
Dude, I thought,
go ahead. Oh, they got his leg bleeding. His leg's busted. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's his foot.
Yeah. And then the round ended, and he just like looks down at his feet, and I'm like, oh god, hopefully that's not one of those things where like it swells up in between rounds, and it's gonna like be a problem moving forward for Smokin Joe, because I'm a big Smokin Joe fan. He was like a hobbyist, and then he moved to the States. He's like, I love snowboarding, so I'm gonna go to Denver, and like so he's just in Colorado snowboarding.
Says every Thai fighter ever, like snowboarding's my favorite.
Snowboarding is my favorite. And then he starts getting fights, and he's just smashing through people. And then he gets signed with one, and he's just been fighting murderers. I mean, he went to decision with Tawanchai. I think it was in kickboxing, not in Muay Thai. But I mean, it was a fantastic fight where some people had Smokin Joe winning, and Tawanchai is like the golden child. It's like nobody beats him. Nobody even looks good fighting him. So Smokin Joe is just having this like late career resurgence, And then Lessei, he's American. I believe he's American. Yeah, and took this on short notice, and then very early in his career against a game Smokin Joe. And like you said, after that first round, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a tough night for Lessei. And it was, but he made sure it was a tough night for Smokin Joe too, because round 2 picked up.
Dude, when they just get to the corner at one point, and they continue switching position, right? Where Smokin Joe is up against that corner, and then they switch, and then Lessei's on that corner. But the entire time, they're just grabbing each other's neck and just landing elbow after elbow after elbow, just one right after another, just trading elbows. Is this it right here? Look at you. Do you have it ready to go? Look, elbow, 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 elbow.
Crazy.
What is going on? Just madness, man. And so this is
look at these elbows.
Yeah. The second round. And you think like, man, at the pace that these guys are going, they're going to be so gassed going into the third. And then the third round comes around. And you realize, like,
Lessei's broken.
Oh my God.
He's bloody. His whole body's covered in blood. And they're both. And then he won the third round.
Oh, Genevieve must be loving this.
Oh, yeah. 100%. 100%. But, like, look at these guys.
It's a bloody mess.
Like you said, this is fight of the year contender. Like, Lessei's so tough, dude. He's getting smashed, and then he comes back and wins the third round. And he's like barely. I don't even know how he's functioning. Look at these guys.
Do you know your game when you're just getting caught with rights, like just straights after straight, and then you just throw a massive straight yourself to try to, instead of pushing the guy off, instead of clinching, you just throw a big right of your own. You know. Look at that. He's still working the jab in,
and just both these guys just landing so many shots on each other.
Oh, elbow.
Smokin Joe should be a household name, man. Everybody should know who he is in America, because this is the last fight too, the Tawanshai fight. Yeah, as a snowboarder. Look at that liver shot from Lessei. I mean, these guys just stood in front of each other and just beat the brakes off of each other.
By the way, if you're only listening, highly suggest you watch on Spotify or YouTube so you can actually see the clips as we're talking about them, because it makes it so much better.
It makes it way better, because I don't know if maybe I don't know what the viewership looks like on. Look at the push kick to the face, dude. Like
to the face.
Yeah, and I mean, that was all one round, by the way. Everything that's shown right now is just one round. This is now round 3.
It's just,
hey, shout out my mom. After the first round, I thought this would be quick. No. I mean, look at Lessei, dude. In the third round, just throwing spinning shit.
Hey, he's representing America very well. Look at him.
I mean, very well, very, very well.
Yeah,
and I hope these guys get the attention they deserve from this fight, because this is what everybody wants in a fight. You know what I mean? This would be fight. If this was in the UFC, everybody would say this was fight of the year. Am I wrong?
Who did Nhat just fight recently too, that they were saying that could have been a fight of the year contender also?
Tawanshai.
It was, right?
Yeah, it was amazing. But you're telling me if this wasn't the UFC, or if this was the UFC, everybody would be like, that was fight of the year.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just look at these guys.
Oh my God. What a mess. Holy smoke.
Oh,
yeah, it was an excellent fight, man. I mean, the knees, the way they mix in the knees to the body, but I think Smokin Joe did a really good job halfway through the second round, starting to mix into the body as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see, still headhunting a lot.
Which
he landed quite a bit himself.
Yeah, and if you watch this, Nhat had to really clinch a lot in this last round just to survive, because Lessei was really turning it on and starting to land a lot of punches.
And then it ends.
I mean, look at these guys, dude. There's another video too of look at this shit, dude. Oh my God.
I almost had him, guys.
What? How are you that tough?
Yeah.
How do you do that? Like, I forgot who I was talking to, but there's moments in fighting where you're either flatlined, like you get caught and you get flatlined, right? And you don't have any control over that. That's your body shuts down. There's other times where guys go down because they're just done, right? Like, it's a choice. Like Chelson talks about it. Everybody has a choice. When they get hit hard, everybody has a choice to go down or not. And, you know, some people take it, and that's totally okay. Most people take it. Most people take that choice. They go down, live to fight another day. There's other guys who, unless you shut them off, they're never going to make that choice, you know? And Lessei's definitely one of those guys, because numerous times he could have just went down. Nobody would have said anything. They'd be like, damn, Smokin Joe hits hard. And nobody would have been like, Lessei.
Yeah, but he was like, you know who else hits hard? Me.
Yeah. I mean, what a fight, dude. What a fight. Just a straight up dog fight. And I mean,
definitely fight of the year contender for sure.
Yeah, the only fight that went decision on this whole card, and it was fucking glorious. It was amazing. And that's all we need to talk about, I guess.
All right, man. We can move on to the next one.
What do we got next?
Saemapetch versus Rabah.
Yeah. Saemapetch. Yeah, this is a little controversial, this one.
A little bit.
Good fight.
The weight starts off, though. Saemapetch coming in, drops Rabah. Then Rabah was like, that was a slip. And then the ref was like, nah, dude, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And Rabah was like, okay, I'll just have to come back and drop him. And he comes back and he drops Saemapetch like 5 seconds after that. I'm like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. And then controversial at the end?
I would say it was very controversial at the end. I'm trying to tee up the clip right here, but in one, you can knee to the head on the ground in MMA, but in Muay Thai, it's a stand-up fight. Muay Thai is a stand-up sport, and Rabah, like you said, Saemapetch drops him on the counter. He's coming in a little reckless. Bam, clips him, drops him. They come back. Rabah knocks him down. You're like, ooh, okay. Then when he knocked him down, I don't know if you saw, but he tried to throw a little cheeky kick in there after he went down. And they were like, ooh, good thing that missed because that was illegal. And then he drops him again. He's in the corner and he's like, trying to just break him down. And eventually he does go down. And then he's like, switch stance, knee to the face. And you're like, whoa, that's not okay. And Saemapetch can't get back up. They call the fight. Nobody says anything about the knee. The crowd's booing. I've never seen Lumpini boo like that before. And he gets up. He's all shushing everybody, being cocky about it and stuff. And it's like, dude, what was that? And then they didn't even interview him. I mean, it was crazy. Blunderbub says, Lumpini crowd never boos anyone. That was all I needed to hear. Case closed.
Yep.
I mean, that was egregious, dude.
Do you think he got a bonus?
He definitely didn't get a bonus. He also missed weight.
Oh, well, he could have gone either way then.
Yeah. Here's the knockdown. Let me see here. He missed weight, and to his credit, he took the fight on 8 days' notice. So there's a little bit of leeway on that. But the knee's egregious. And I don't know if Chafi said that it was illegal and that he didn't like it, all this stuff. I don't know if they're going to reverse it, be a DQ, maybe. I don't know. But here's the first knockdown. You watch Rabah get a little reckless, trying to use his range to blitz on him. And then, bam, catches him. He's like, oh, he slipped. Nah, dude. That was a nice knockdown. He's like, come on, let me go. Just let me bang, bro.
I'm ready.
Just let me bang,
goes
bro.
Right out.
And at this point, I always root for the Thais just because, right away, the first punch he throws,
Quick one, too. But even when you see him set up for that kick, and he doesn't fully go through with it, though. He's like, he holds back, and he goes, yeah. The temptation was there, though.
Mm-hmm. I always root for the Thais in Muay Thai against foreigners because, the weight cutting is not the same. And they're almost always smaller than the guy they're fighting. Almost always. And this was no exception. I mean, Rabah didn't even make weight. So, clearly he was here we go. This is the beginning at the end right here. And then watch the knee. Oh, nice left hand from Saemapetch.
That's what started wobbling him there.
Yeah.
That kind of clips him on top of the head. And then boom, bam. Big knee.
Not okay. And he's like, and you got to call it, right? You got to. But, he almost falls again right there. And, if you go on their Instagram, they posted the clip of the knockdown or the knockout, and all the comments are like, DQ, that's illegal. Haggerty's on there. Liam Harrison's on there talking about it, saying it was a foul. And it's like,
it was pretty obvious,
good,
right?
Man. That's not good.
I feel like it was pretty obvious, at least.
It was pretty obvious. Here's the replay.
There, he's a little wobbled already.
He's wobbly there.
Tries to matrix his way out. Gets hit with that flying knee right to the body.
Oh, that left hand there. The elbow at the top of the head. And the
tomahawk
chop.
and then
bam,
boom.
It's bad, dude. And they'll show it. They show it where it actually lands. That angle, you can't see it actually land, but they do show it. Bam.
Oof.
God.
That's rough. This is the
not
angle you
good.
were talking about. Oh, is it? No.
It might be the one after this one. Watch this elbow that glances. Dunk.
Yeah, that was a nice elbow there. The chop that you were talking about. And
bam.
Oh, no, yeah, you could see it there.
Oh, that's bad.
Pretty clear, right on the temple.
That's really bad. And I don't know.
And
Saemapetch
gets up like that drunk uncle at the party that when you tell him he's cut off and he stands up real quick, he's like, oh, no, I have one more. You know, and he's just all over the place.
America. Yeah, not a good look. Pretty bad. I don't know what they're gonna do. Nick Atkin posted about it. He talked to Chaudhry about it, but I don't know what happens from here. But that's not good. Can't have that.
No, cannot.
No.
But Rabah walking off with the win so far.
So far, we'll see what happens.
We'll see
Shout
what
out his
happens.
coach that DM'd me. I was talking shit, and his coach DM'd me, and he was like,
"You're wrong."
He was like, 8 days notice. It's not his fault he missed weight. He was dying at 78 kilograms. And I was like, yeah, but the knee was pretty fucked. And he was like, he threw it in the heat of the moment. You're right. I respect you, bro. And I was like, what? What's happening? Am I right? Am I wrong? I don't understand. How could I be both? But I respect you too. And then we kept chatting, and now we both follow each other, and it's all good.
Awesome. There you go, man. Are you going to get him on the podcast?
We're going to try. He's in Dubai. So
and then we show tough. That replay slow motion 20 times.
And we're like, look, case in point.
All right.
There was a clear beat for the knee. Yeah. This is my boy, dude. Menshikov's my boy. That's
Menshikov versus Chafi, huh?
Yeah, Chafi looks like a serial killer. He's out there, kind of looks like Dubronx a little bit with like the way his jawline is and his eyes. He's like, and you're like, this guy's terrifying. He looks like a Disney villain, you know. He looks terrifying, and he's long and he's rangy, and he's like throwing step up knees and front kicks, and you're like, this guy's dangerous.
Yeah.
But Menshikov's just walking out there with his and one basketball shorts, looking like a light heavyweight Fedor, and he's just unfazed.
Shout out and one, huh?
Yeah, doesn't it look like he's wearing just like basketball gym shorts?
I love it.
Oh man,
I haven't heard that brand in a long time.
I don't know. Are they still in business?
I don't know. If they are, maybe they'll be our sponsor. You know,
that's like when I was
brought to you by and one basketball shorts.
Back when I was in high school, I wore like size 13s already and stuff. So like, and we couldn't buy like the like $90 baseball cleats and stuff. So we'd go to Ross and get like the overstock cleats. They always had a bunch in that size range.
Yeah.
And you get like the name brand one, like they had like the nice ones, they just never sold. So you get it for like $12. But man, Ross and one, synonymous. Like half their department was fucking and one.
They're in cahoots for sure, dude. In cahoots. Yeah. Menshikov though, you talked about like being terrifying, man.
Yeah. I mean, just a murderer.
Usually when you see somebody with a last name that ends with Ov, you're like, oh, here comes some solid grappling, right?
Yeah, like, but it's Muay Thai.
Yeah.
It's going to be like...
And he's super surgical, I felt like.
Yeah, well, there's a huge Russian population in Thailand. Like that, I think Russian might be
Bangkok
like
ready, huh?
I mean, look at like Pyotr Yan, you know, Rafael Fiziev, like all these guys go there, you know, like Tiger Muay Thai is like a large portion of Tiger Muay Thai is a bunch of Russians that go to Thailand. I think that's like the highest percentage of like immigrants to Thailand are Russians. Mouhcine, Anatoly Mouhcine is also in Thailand and stuff. So there's a lot of Bangkok ready Russians out there. They just, for some reason, we don't see them kind of come to the UFC. Maybe because one's picking him up and stuff, but Menshikov's one of those guys, and it shows, dude. I mean, he fought Reagan Irsol and got clipped early, and he got finished. But outside of that, I think he's been perfect. I think that's his only loss, and it's against Irsol. The guy's a killer.
Dude, Chafi, by the way, actually gets a couple little combos going, man. He strings together a couple little combos. Starts feeling himself a little too much, right?
Like Blunderbuff. Blunderbuff was feeling him too. I was just in the middle of saying I thought Chafi had a good chance to finish him when he got caught.
Dude, he like, yeah, because he starts stringing together some nice combos, right? And it looks like Menshikov's on his back foot a little bit, and he's just playing possum the entire time. The best part though, Chafi like sticks his arms out, sticks his tongue out, like let's go, right? Starts stepping in and goes, oh no, and he's like lights out, knocked out.
Yeah, let's take a look at what you're talking about, huh?
Digging the pink, by the way.
Let's see, like pink. I mean, look how active he is. Nice right hand there from Menshikov.
He's like, I'm rolling with all your punches, dude. It's not really hurting me, except for that one. That one kind of hurt.
That one's
right. He's
good.
light on his feet.
There's another one.
That was not an eye poke.
Yeah, Menshikov's
that looked more like a punch.
Notice there's not nearly as many fouls in Muay Thai. Like they get hit, they get headbutts, they get low kicks and stuff, and like nobody even gives a fuck. Knees. Oh, big right hand there from Menshikov. But the jab from Chafi is very good.
Yeah, and he did a good job trying to mix in different strikes,
Yeah.
Whether it was that step and elbow.
I mean, the dude is all legs. His frame is so good for fighting. He looks like a giant.
It's like Sagat, you know what I mean?
From Street Fighter. 100%. 100%.
That's what he reminds me of. Rich is probably going to really enjoy that reference.
The big left hand there.
See, this is the one where he was like, oh, no, what are you talking about, dude?
Yeah. And he's like, he looks at the crowd. Come on, guys, You don't see the Bronx in there a little bit? In the face?
A little bit.
They look like they could be cousins.
Maybe. And then here we go. I think this is where you kind of start stringing some stuff together here.
Oh, good jab there from Menshikov. Nice
to the body. Shot to the body, yeah.
And the front kick to the body.
Look, see, here we go.
Oh, feeling himself.
That elbow that like clips him right there by the ear.
Yeah.
Like nice lands that right.
Again.
Another 1-2.
Stepping elbow to the knee, to the left hand.
Big left.
I mean,
look,
he's like, come on, dude.
Let's go. And then he's out. And Menshikov just walks off.
Yeah. Dude.
Ready to go play another pickup game of basketball.
Yeah. Throws the mouth guard. I mean, he literally puts his hands out. He's like, come on, dude. Let's fucking fight me back. And he's like, all right, fine. Bam. Drops him. It's crazy, dude.
That sucks when that happens, though, huh?
When keeping it real goes wrong, huh?
Oh, yeah. Perfect example of it right there.
Yeah. So he puts his hands out. Bam, that left hook, dude. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, that was a really... Look,
I mean,
that angle, though. Right before hands out, tongue out. And
bam.
His hands are just down, man. Like, Menshikov is letting him kind of just tee off on him for a second there. He gets so comfortable with just throwing all these wild shots and putting his guard down. And then he finally just gets him right where he wants him. Lands a nice little left hook right on the chin.
Yeah, it's nasty.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? You can't. No one's taking that. No one's going to take that.
Yeah.
I had a video. Oh, yeah, here it is. Check this one out. If you liked that last clip, check this one out, huh? Shout out Cyrus for sending us the clips, huh?
Oh, all nice.
Right. Make sure the volume's not super loud, but this is the ringside of the knockout.
What an angle. Oh, his head bounced off the ring there a couple times, huh?
Could you hear the audio too?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, damn. Check this out.
I did not hear it. Boom.
God. Ref was almost there in time to catch him. Not quite, but almost.
I mean, is it so just fitting, though, that like you're saying with those basketball shorts, that he just dribbles his head off the canvas like that? He just bounces it off the canvas like that?
God.
Rough. All right.
Goes.
We ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, and this is where it's going to get quick. You know what? For the sake of time, I know it's late. Let's skip Jacob Smith. Very good win. He looked very good. Walter Goncalves is a very tough opponent. Went to war with Rodtang and survived. So it's a lot that he went down here. Let's maybe just show the clip and then move
Knee
on.
to the gut, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I should have it. Jacob Smith.
Goncalves a little creative too. The only other note I had on that was such a nice spinning back elbow that hit Smith, and then Smith right after he gets caught with it, completely puts his guard down, stands straight up, and like laughs and smiles and gives him a high five because he got caught with his awesome spinning back elbow. And I was like, dude, what an awesome sport, man.
They're so respectful, dude. You know, that's one thing that like one does prioritize. You know, they do, and you got to respect that. You respect the respect.
Oh, snaps!
Is what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Here we go.
Is it gonna load though?
Is it gonna load though? The age-old question. It tried to.
It's thinking about it.
Blundrope says Jacob Smith's interview is almost as entertaining as the fight.
Oh,
just a short knee.
Yeah.
Nasty, dude. Nasty.
Yeah, I mean,
how do you take stuff like that?
For a while, was just very hesitant in moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he starts moving forward, he gets caught with the knee. And I was like, oh, that's why.
So he didn't want to go forward.
It's just stuck to his other game plan.
Yeah, the one that was working up until it stopped. But exactly. Big win for Jacob Smith. That's a really, really big win. Goncalves, I believe, is ranked number 2 in the division. So that's like you're in there now. You're fighting. You're in there.
Big win.
Big win.
All right.
Speaking of big wins.
You want to cover your boy Ghazali versus Tabares?
Dude, first off, you got to feel for Edgar, Juarez, Tabares, because he's fought. They got him in there with killers. We talk about you're in there now with Jacob Smith. Tabares has been there. He makes his one debut against Rodtang in America. It was awesome, but he got ran through. And then he fights Mahmoudi, who is now, I believe, fighting Superlek. He's fighting Superlek now, so also a killer. And then they give him Ghazali, who's 17 years old. And you might be thinking, he's 17 years old. Maybe this is a layup for old Edgar Tabares, finally. If you've watched our videos, you would know that that's not the case, because while he's only 17, while he was 16, he's out there knocking grown men out on the One Friday fights at Lumpini. And not just knocking them out, but like throwing fastballs at their faces and like murdering dudes. And they give him a contract to be on the fight nights. And it's like the stars are aligning for Ghazali, dude. The guy is the real deal.
He's a phenom.
He's very good.
And every once in a while, like you'll see people are like, oh, this is an up and comer, and they're phenom, and they're the next hot thing in the sport. And then sometimes it just doesn't pan out, right? And it's very rare when it does. With Ghazali, you hear all this hype, you see him, and you just have this feeling like that, man, this is really going to happen. Like we're seeing the beginning right now of something huge.
Yeah. No, 100%. And to stick with the theme, the last fight that we covered, Jacob Smith, that was a liver shot, right? The knee. Blundrope says first KO was 16 seconds. Who was it? Who was he fighting? Where he sticks his tongue out, and then immediately after sticking his tongue out, he's like, bah, and kills him with it. It's like, God.
Very much like with what Chafi tried to do. The only thing is that Chafi got knocked out.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the same thing with Ghazali, his opponent. I forgot who it was. Was it? He didn't fight Tenkai, did he? No. I don't remember who it was, but
was it Chafi? That's just what he does. Like every fight, that'd be awesome. It's his signature move. He sticks his tongue out and he just KO.
Gets knocked out.
You should do that.
But we'll just let this one roll. We'll go ahead and watch the whole fight here. Again, shout out One for letting us show the footage, because it makes it so much better than just showing the slideshows that we normally do at the UFC. But that's Ghazali on the right side there. Edgar is on the left. Immediately hits him with a low kick and the jab. And you're like, okay, he's starting quick. They trade low kicks. Bam, liver shot.
That body shot right off the bat.
Nice elbow there from Tabares. Good low kick from Tabares. Tries to the little teep.
Push kick.
There's the jab from Ghazali. Doubles up on the low kick. Bam. And the liver shot drops him. And he does that. He throws the overhand right to get your guard high. And then, bam, he leans over, throws that left hook to the body.
Man, and it's just one of those liver shots where, like, look, he just wants to stand up.
Yeah.
He wants to, and his body's just...
Yeah.
It's like, did you ever watch Bernard Hopkins versus Oscar De La Hoya?
Oh, yeah.
And Hopkins just hits him with that liver shot, and you just see De La Hoya is like in so much pain, and he's wanting to stand up, but his body's just like, nah, dude.
You got that.
We're not functioning right now.
Your body's just crunching in on itself, and you're like, stop it. I just want to live. Let me get through
rough,
this.
Man.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's still in pain. He's like,
still
all right, cool,
in pain.
Man. Watch this setup. He throws the right hand to get the high guard. Bam. Oh,
Beautiful,
the left hook just comes around. God, Genevieve said, I thought it was a low blow at first because of how he was rocking back and forth. Yeah. I mean, it's perfect. There's a nice angle. I think it's after this one.
Yeah, and the way that he starts off with that double jab kind of, like just tapping it. Doesn't put too much behind it, but just giving Edgar something to think about there. A little tap.
Yeah, he just gets the hands high.
Right. Boom. Beautiful.
And he's 17 years old.
Tabares hadn't gone down, man, that was probably turning into like a 20-punch combo coming right after that. Like he was already he fired off 2 more shots after he landed that body shot,
Yeah. No, I mean it was, I think, 36 seconds. That one was just phenomenal, dude. The guy is an absolute killer.
In Genevieve's point, these fights were pretty quick. So us
quick,
covering these fights pretty quick.
Yeah.
But props to Ghazali for yet another win. Not just anyone, an impressive showing, man, really.
Yeah, it really was. He did miss weight, so he didn't get a bonus.
Man.
And I don't know how much of that is just the pressure of, it's my first time on the one fight night. He's out the Friday fights.
The Lunchables.
Yeah, the Lunchables, they add up. They put the weight on.
Uncrustables.
So we'll see moving forward,
All that teenage food that he's eating, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Shout out HW Comer. Why does it look like it's freezing over at Ramiro's? Is it freezing?
Because it is. It's chilly. It's chilly for sure. Up next, we're covering Nguyen versus Purić.
Yeah. Yeah, and this will be a quick one too. The first round, just trading shots with each other. Just, I mean, I don't know what else to say at this point. It's just fucking bangers. They're just trading with each other. But Purić eventually is really applying the pressure, walking him down, landing combos. Did you want to just watch it?
Yeah, dude. If you want to put it on, the one thing that I really like from Purić, he was doing this thing that you don't see too often, but he does this little stutter step and he feints that outside leg kick, and then he comes back inside with an inside leg kick on the opposite leg. And I was like, ooh, that was so slick.
There's so many sneaky things like that like you just pick up on. You're like, God damn, that's high level shit right there, dude.
It is. So cool. It was just so nice to watch, man.
Yeah. So we'll start it right here.
Here we go.
So this is in round 2 here. A minute into round 2. I like the shorts too, the color combo.
Yeah. Nice color combination for sure. The tats.
Tats are looking good. He's like, let's go, dude. You want to try to high kick me, dog? I mean, just walking through like a tank, really.
Yeah.
Looking for the uppercut there. Misses. Good liver shot there with the right straight behind it.
Oh my there God, it is.
Dude.
And at first, like seeing it, you're like, what clipped him? Right? And then when you go through slow motion, you just kind of see it land on top of his head, kind of.
And honestly, great ref. The way he stumbled back, the way he gets up, and you're like, they're probably gonna let this keep going. And then when he first tries to stand up and he falls back a little bit, you're like, oh no, it's over. You're done. Shout out Tony, sleepy time with the boys. HLB Comer saying super early. It is 5:37 over here. My sleeping cycle is fucked right now as I'm on vacation. Shout out
HLB Comer. Shout out to you, man. Early morning story of the fight, huh? I love it.
My sleeping cycle is fucked.
The real question, though, is has he just been pulling an all-nighter, or did he wake up early? That's what I want to know.
He got the notification for the live stream. He's like, I'm up. My boys need me.
My guy. I love it. Yeah, another good fight, though.
Yeah, another good fight. Did they not have the replay? They might not have the replay. I thought they showed it.
Maybe it was just a quick one. I guess not.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, and you see him just like, oh, nice right there in close quarters. But yeah, that left hook, I think it was that landed right, where it just kind of clips him right on top of the head. And it's just one of those shots where, boom, there it is.
Right behind the ear, too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nasty shot, man. Nasty.
He's like a little Mike Perry.
I know, dude. I was gonna say the same thing, dude.
Looks like a little Mike Perry. Look at him. Shout out Mike Perry.
You know, he countered the high kick really well, dude.
Yeah.
God.
Good stuff, man.
Good stuff.
All right. I think this is the last one we're covering, right? For One Fight Night 17.
Yeah.
Oh, we had Thongpoon versus El Jefe Barboza.
Yeah, HB Comer says, I felt the universe needed me right now. I am one. We are one.
Oh, that's deep, man. I love it.
That's deep.
I love it. First off, can I say how awesome it was? The way that Thongpoon walked out, he looked like a straight up dude. He should be Thugpoon.
Yeah,
the way that he walked out, so sick, man. Do you have a clip of how he walked out?
I'll pull it up right now. Keep talking about the fight,
dude. Just looking straight gangster. And look, I know that.
Did he have a chain? Did he have a chain? I think he did, right?
I think he did. Glasses, maybe. I don't know. I just remember thinking he looks like a straight up thug. But with Muay Thai, like the times that I've seen Muay Thai with the large ounce gloves, I feel like it's just so much of a slower start. Every fight that I've watched with the 4-ounce gloves in Muay Thai, they just come out right off the gate.
Because with
no
the
feeling
big
out
gloves,
process.
You get that defense in, so you're like, I don't want to blow my wad early. With the 4-ounce gloves, you just got to tag him a couple times. You know, you really just got to land a couple times. It's so much easier to. Here's the walkout.
Look at him, Thugpoon, man.
He lifts the glasses up.
Look, usually I'm not down with anybody wearing shades inside. You know what I mean? In this case, I think Thongpoon should have worn them through the fight. Yeah,
I mean, he's Genevieve says they said he's a member of a hip hop appreciation club. Chains and shade, man.
Hip hop appreciation.
You gotta love it, dude.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at it's fantastic. So good.
And dude, I was really bummed on this because he's another one of the Friday Fights alumni. Just putting on wars early in the morning on YouTube.
Is that an emoji on his chain?
I think it might. Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was the little devil emoji.
You gotta love it, dude. Yeah, it is. Look at that.
Oh, dude, that is fantastic. It's either that or Hello Kitty, one of the two.
But yeah, they get to it, and like you said, it's immediate. You know.
Yes. They start trading
absolutely
leg
immediate.
kicks right off the bat.
And you know what's crazy is Thongpoon was the one who really started going to the body first. You know, I thought that was a great adjustment because they were so headhunting with those elbows like that, just standing in front of each other, you know, like high guard in each other's faces, throwing elbows over the top. But then didn't keep going that way from a boy. Because Barboza, to his credit, I believe he also took this on short notice, maybe. I mean, just most guys, Thongpoon just runs through like this. You know, he wilts people because he's just a hammer. You know, and look at the there's a liver shot right there. And Barboza just refused to give into it. You know, he stayed up on him, and I was really impressed with that. Because most people wilt to him.
Yeah.
He's just
in and then you end up seeing Thongpoon go through, and I think it's either the end of the second or the beginning of the third where he just starts unloading, man, really trying to put Barboza out. And he just gasses at a certain point. He kind of turns into like a punching bag. And Barboza's just teeing off on him where like everything Barboza was throwing was just landing over and over again.
Up until the finish, it was like, oh no, my dude's just... He's in there, but like he's not in here. You know, he was gone. Yeah. He's lost. Oh, big right hand there from Barboza. I'll skip forward to the to what you're talking about here. Let's see.
Was it at the end of the second, or was it the beginning of the third?
Well, here's the first knockdown here from Barboza. Bam!
Oh my god! Is that a counter elbow?
Pull counter, but an elbow, dude. Beautiful.
That's the thing that's so impressive with the Muay Thai fighters too. It's just the way that they're able to sneak in elbows like that.
Yeah, it
with
really
the quickness
is nice.
And power.
And you could tell from that elbow. I mean, look at Thongpoon. He's a different fighter. He's there. He's in your face.
After that, huh?
He's throwing, but it's the reactions aren't there.
It's okay.
Oh, there's another big elbow. He's trying to land that elbow, dude.
Trying to hit a home run with that elbow after that. Look at that.
Yeah, they should have a replay. Yeah, let's go back here.
Oh.
Again, shout out Juan for letting us show this, dude. Look at the pull counter. Lean back.
Back.
Bam.
Uses the ropes. Bounce off of it a little bit.
Turns his head around with that elbow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful work from Barboza there. Here it is again. The lean back to dodge the body shot. And then bam.
And it just misses. Just misses. Was that an elbow that Thongpoon had thrown as well at the exact same time?
I think he was throwing the right hand.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The form was probably just off because he got dropped.
Yeah, and then from here, it's pretty much a wrap already.
Yeah,
because I had Thongpoon winning the first round. Barboza took a 10-8 in the second, right, with a knockdown, and I was like, he's gonna have to put him away here, because if he just wins this round, it's a win for Barboza, right? With the knock, it'll be a draw, but they don't do draws, so it would go to the guy with the knockdown. But I mean,
yeah.
So you got to put it on if you're Thongpoon.
Yeah, which he is. Thongpoon's trying to throw as much as he can his way.
Yeah.
But Barboza's staying really composed the entire time, still picking his shots, not doing anything wild.
Impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed with Barboza. This is the first time I've seen him fight. Big elbow there. Nice jab again. And here's where you see Thongpoon start to take steps back, and you're like, oh, no.
That body shot hurt him.
Yeah. And another one to the liver.
Another body shot, yeah.
And just walking him down, left hook, right hand, left hook, right hand, elbow.
Yeah, this is where I'm saying, like, at this point, he's pretty much a punching bag, right?
Yeah.
Nice body kick there.
Survive.
Feeling himself.
Like, fight back, man. And
that was the theme, like, all night.
Come on, dude. Yeah, except this time it worked.
Yeah.
They saw this earlier in the night, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
It's so cool.
Yeah, look at that. Oh, there it is.
The right hand, the left hook to the body. It's beautiful. I mean, this was liver shot. The whole night, I think there was 4 or 5 liver shot KOs this night. I mean, just absolutely incredible.
Wow.
I mean, just
good stuff, man.
Really
fun event.
Yeah.
Really fun event.
I mean, you can see here, this is the live stream. If you look it down here, 2 hours and 44 minutes. I guess that's with the 26, though. But still, it was 3 hours.
Yeah.
Let's see this liver shot real quick.
I wish all the events were only 3 hours.
I mean, sometimes they just drag on, dude. Look, I love fighting, but I don't like watching 20 commercials in between every fight. And that's the other thing that was cool about this. You get a first round KO, and then 5 minutes later,
they're ready to go.
Already walking out the next fight. And you're like, thank you. In the UFC, if you see a first round knockout, that's your cue you can run to the store and be back in time before the next fight even starts.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what they're doing. But fantastic.
Boom.
This was the last fight night event for one of the year. Really big year for one. Super stoked that they got the Prime deal. I think a lot more people started watching one this year than before. They announced the Atlanta show next year. They're doing 3 more events in America. They announced Rod Tang versus Takeru over in Japan. Or maybe it's in Qatar, one of the two. But, I mean, come on.
I think it was Qatar, wasn't it?
I think, they're definitely doing an event in Qatar. Just big stuff. I hope they can keep getting the funding and they can keep their runway because it's undeniable. If people just
Are you going to go to any of the events in the U.S.?
I'm going to do my best. Your boy took a massive pay cut to switch jobs, so we'll see.
Well, we'll
Atlanta's
see.
Further than Denver.
Maybe we get press passes, huh?
Let's get press passes. Let's do it. There's some things that we'll talk about off air that I need to talk to you about. But
a brewing. All right. You wanted to cover UFC as well. Now your boy here had a lot going on this weekend.
Yeah.
So I was not able to watch the UFC event. I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of these fights.
Well, let me tell you which ones to watch.
Oh, please
which ones were worth it. How about that? We'll just frame it.
That would be great.
Rich is gonna be working overtime for the next 5 minutes because we're about to breeze through some fights. He's going to be switching slides. He's going to be switching the title on the screen. A man's going to be like, remember in Men in Black 2 when they go to the post office and there's a dude under the thing and he's just like,
oh, dude, phenomenal reference. That's really good reference. Dude. That's so good.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we had UFC Vegas 83. It was Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez. This was supposed to be
the main event everybody's been waiting for this year.
Yeah, this was supposed to be Song Yadong versus Purić in China, and then the UFC couldn't put together a card worthy of going there, so they said, I guess we're just going to go to the Apex and we'll get Chris Gutierrez instead of Purić. And Blunderbo says Miro watched one and not UFC this week. A perfect week to do it, right? By the way. This card sucked. There was not a fight. There was no fight of the night on this card. So that tells you everything you need to know about it. But Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez playing the footsies. He's kicking all day. He's trying to take out your legs. HW Comer said he Tom Aspinalled him at the face-offs. Also a phenomenal reference. But yeah, Chris Gutierrez, real light on his feet. He's throwing slapping kicks. He's throwing heavy kicks. He's throwing front kicks. He's throwing question mark kicks. And you're like, I don't know what to do. Except Song Yadong did know what to do, and that's just pressure forward. And so he can't kick. And he just beat him up. And then eventually they went to the ground a couple times, and Song Yadong just team alpha mailed him on the ground. And it was like, oh no, this is going to be a long one. Ganscott says, I thought it was a great card. It actually wasn't that bad.
Which one? The one by night or
the UFC card? It really wasn't that bad. There's some stinkers on it for sure, but there was some fun stuff. But yeah, Song Yadong team alpha mailed him on the ground. Chris Gutierrez was just like more concerned with stuff that was going outside of the crowd, like the alpha male guys in the corner were like talking shit, and it was like affecting him. He was talking shit back. There was somebody, yeah, like he was just like, it was a weird mental game there from Chris Gutierrez. And in the 5th round, he's down 4 rounds to nothing. He goes for like, after getting controlled on the ground, he goes for like an Imanari roll that was like way out of range, and Song Yadong was just like, all right, and just ends up on top of him to the point where Paul Felder's like, I'm speechless. I don't know what just happened. It was bad. But Song Yadong, I mean, he was supposed to be fighting Purić. So to be fighting Chris Gutierrez, and no disrespect to Chris Gutierrez, but Song Yadong's a top 5 fighter in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it showed. The 50-44 was one of the judges' scorecards. So there's a 10-8 round in there. Get Song Yadong somebody above him, please. Please. But we can move on. Yeah, it's time. Also, there was only like half a photographer there, apparently. There was barely any pictures. So there were some moments. Yeah, there were some cool moments on this card, and there's like no good pictures of them. So I apologize if it looks like fights are boring from the pictures, because some of them were very fun. Like this next one, Khalil Rountree versus Anthony Smith, Lionheart.
Bangkok ready, Khalil Rountree?
Bangkok ready, Khalil Rountree. They start. Don't forget, he was supposed to fight Mirzakhanov. Anthony Smith took this on short notice. Definitely visibly looked like he took it on short notice. He was not like as shredded as he normally is or as cut. But heavy pressure from Anthony Smith, and I think he was like, Khalil slows down, I'll grind him out. The later rounds, I'll put him away. Khalil Rountree literally is just hands like this and just shuffling. You know, when you're doing warm-ups before baseball practice, and they're like, all right, cool, we're doing high knees. All right, cool, we're doing shuffle. He's just shuffling in a circle and just barely even reacting to anything. And Anthony Smith's just following him for like a minute. It was hilarious. And then they start actually fighting. And Anthony Smith is staying on him. He's throwing kicks. He's throwing this jab. And every time he throws, he's throwing with like the same rhythm. It's just like 1-2, bam, 1-2, bam. And then Khalil's just like bam, bam, and then catches him with the left, catches him with the right, and just sniping him every time Anthony Smith was trying to commit, visibly wobbling him. And eventually, Khalil cracks him good. Real good with the left hook. And Johnny Walker's him. Anthony Smith's doing the stanky leg. He's folding over himself, going backwards, falls back. Khalil Rountree walks across the cage with his hand like this, literally like Hammer of the Gods, just walks across, looks at the ref, looks back at him, and the ref's like, no. I'm not letting this land, and calls it. I wish there was a picture of it. Yeah, it was literally like that. Because Anthony Smith falls down, he like rolls over and turns. He's like, I don't even know where I am, and he just keeps it up, and he's just like a dad.
Like, after last week, do you really want me to do this?
Yeah, dude. And Mark Smith calls it, and it's like, man, he literally stopped him with his aura, dude. It was crazy.
Dang.
But Khalil Rountree, man, he calls out Alex Pereira. He's like, I think I could beat him. I know there's probably some guys I need to fight before I get there, but I want that fight. And you're like, oh my God.
Wow.
But yeah, that was a fun fight. Khalil Rountree, good dude. Cool to see him get the win. Anthony Smith, I don't know what you do here. That's his 19th loss. It's tough.
Yeah.
Moving on, Nasrat Haqparast versus Jamie Mullarkey. Pretty much guaranteed banger, and it was for as long as it lasted. It lasted under 2 minutes. Haqparast lands a nice left hand around the guard. Like, Mullarkey gets the hand up, but the hand comes around and catches him right on the jawline. And then he goes down. Haqparast is just like, bam, bam, ground pound, ground pound, ground pound. And Mullarkey's just eating these massive shots, and you're like, all right, he's about to flatline any second now. And he's just like, and just stands up, and you're like, what is he made out of? And then he clips him a couple more times, and they're like, no, that's it. But it looked like, there's like a shitty video game where you're like shooting somebody, or like Rich is going to know this reference, but there's some animations that are like safe, right? If you're in that animation, you're invincible, and so like it literally looked like he was, I'm getting up, so the punches don't do anything to me. It was bizarre. It was bizarre.
What?
But yeah, mini Gastelum avenged big Gastelum in a big way. HB Comer says little Gastelum is everything we wanted big one to be. And yeah, Goncalves says, I don't know how Mullarkey stood up out on his feet for real. Like, it was bizarre. I'll send you a clip because, I mean, he gets murked and he's eating massive ground and pound shots. And then he's like, I'll just stand up now. And as he's standing up, it's not like he did it quick. He like slowly puts both hands on the mat and just like gets up, and he's just getting lit up. Blendrip says they're called iframes. Yeah, it's 100% what it was. But yeah, very cool win for Haqparast. Mullarkey, his record doesn't show it, but every time he fights, they're dog fights. So I respect him.
Oh, yeah. He's always shown that he's very durable.
Yeah. You know who else I respect? It is Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott is awesome. Dude. He fought Sumadarji, and he comes out drunken style like Genki Sudo. He's hopping on one leg. He's being real weird. And then Sumadarji's like, I don't care about any of this weirdness. I'm going to stick to the fundamentals, and I'm just going to catch you with everything I throw. And I'm not fighting your fight, and I'm not going to let it puzzle me. And Tim Elliott's like, okay, I'll start fighting now, because it was not working. But he catches a kick, gets him up against the fence, drops the leg, hits him with an elbow. Sumadarji's like, ooh, I didn't like that. Takes him down, beats him up a little bit, bloodies him up, sinks in the arm triangle. It was a really cool pass because he was passing. Sumadarji had the knee shield, and he hips out on top to clear the leg and circles on the other side, right? So Sumadarji's like shrimping out, right? He's got his leg up, knee shield on his right hip, and then Tim Elliott circles the other side around to the far side, and he gets the choke. We go back to that one picture, Rich, real quick. He's choking with the arm triangle, and you're like, this is tight, this is tight, this is tight, and then all of a sudden Sumadarji just like coughs up blood, and you're like, oh part. My god. And then they call it, and you're like, oh my god. And Herb Dean looks over at the doctor. He's like, he's coughing up a lot of blood. And you're like, Jesus Christ. Like, you heard it like loud and clear. HW Comer says, I would like to take this opportunity to mention that I have platinum trophy in Bloodborne. Shout out HW Comer. That means something. That's good. Bloodborne's notoriously difficult. It's one of the Souls games from software, all that stuff. But Tim Elliott, good win. He said he was disappointed. He said, in the gym, my hands are really good, and I hurt people with my hands, and I just don't in actual fights, and I don't understand. But it's all good.
Herb Dean, is he still looking at Sumadarji there, just all worried?
Is he okay over there?
Seems so distracted.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna skip Andre Muniz versus Jin Young Park because Andre Muniz is just I don't know what he's doing. He's chain wrestling and he's grappling and he takes someone's back. He has that sneaky armbar from the back, but it's not sneaky anymore because he's done it so many times that everybody knows it's coming, but he still tries to. So Jin Young Park, Iron Turtle just kept sweeping him off of it. Bizarre fight. Muniz got the win. Good job. Kevin Jusei versus Song Kanong was a banger. It was fun. Jusei just stuck behind the jab, body kicks, lit him up. Fun fight. Hyun Sung Park fought Shannon Ross. He beat him just like everybody else does with a liver shot. So that was cool. Steve Garcia versus Melky? I don't know. Costa. We're going to call him Costa. Costa, the entire first round is grappling the hell out of him, trying to take his back and just smothering him. Garcia can't do anything about it other than just stand up. But he did a good job defending. He never really got taken down. Second round starts. Costa tries again to take his back or take him down. Steve Garcia is like, no. And then they scramble, and he clips him with a standing knee. And it was like, ooh. And then he clubs him with the right hand. I think there's a picture of the knee landing, Rich. I think it's the next picture. The one fight where they actually got the right pictures.
Ooh.
Big knee, pulls his head down, lands the knee. And then the next picture, I believe, is the clubbing right hand that landed right after it. I mean, just good work. He drops him and just beats the snot out of him. I mean, he turtles. He's hitting him with a bunch of shots. He ends up taking his back. There's blood everywhere. He tries to get the choke, can't get the choke. And then as soon as he gets out of this choke, Garcia's back on top and just bam, bam, big elbows. They call the fight. Costa shoots a single leg on Tayoni and is on that single leg for like a good 10, 15 seconds. It was pretty scary. I mean, he was battered. It was bad. I mean, he's deep in on there. And Tayoni's like grabbing the fence. And he's looking around like, can somebody help me, please? Because it was a while before he stopped.
Herb Dean's running over there right now to smack his hand off the fence.
Yeah.
No fence grabs.
Yeah.
Stop grabbing the fence.
He resets him.
Yeah.
Puts him in his guard. But it was a good fight. Big win for Steve Garcia because Costa's kind of been on a tear recently. He looks very good in his last couple fights. Goncalves says, take a point from Tayoni. About time somebody does, huh? But that shows you how effective fence grabs are. You got Tayoni defending takedowns off of a UFC fighter. Fence grab works, you know.
HOP love it when they go for the refs.
That's how you know you got a good finish, man. I think Felder even said that. He's like, when they try to shoot a single leg on the ref, it's a good stoppage. Like,
yeah, 100%. 100%. That's hilarious.
Yeah, the last fight we'll cover, I know we said we'll keep this to an hour. We're right at an hour, 2 minutes. Was my boy Tatsuro Taira versus Carlos Hernandez. Another fantastic showing from Tatsuro. He grapples the hell out of him. Carlos tries for a lateral drop. He has Tatsuro up against the fence, back against the fence, tries to pull back with the lateral drop, and Tatsuro's like, no, and just pushes him down in the same motion, ends up on top, rides his back, threatening chokes for the whole round. Second round starts, clips him with the right hand. He's like, wobbles him, and as he follows up, hits him with another right hand, left hook, right hand, drops him, gets the finish. It was a very, very good showing for Tatsuro. Again, it's about time they get him maybe close to a top 15 opponent because at this point, it's starting to become a little irresponsible that this guy's just murking dudes. But I believe he was supposed to fight David Forak, and he had to pull out. But yeah, that's it for the card. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Forak. Awesome, moment of silence. We'll just breeze through it really quick. The only ones worth mentioning, Sumadarji was supposed to fight Nascimento. Nascimento withdrew. So Tim Elliott stepped in and choked the blood out of him. And everything else was just the Road to UFC tournament got postponed. The UFC is just like not even promoting the Road to UFC tournaments. No one even knows they exist. And I don't know what they're doing with that because they've gotten some good talent from there. Nakamura, Taira, like I don't know what they're doing. They need to promote that. Bonuses, there was no fight of the night, but Khalil got one for the beatdown belt. Haqparast got one for finishing Mullarkey early. Tim Elliott got one for choking the blood out of Sumadarji, and then Hyunsung Park got one for beating Shannon Ross. The liver shot. That's it. I don't know how Tatsuro didn't get one.
Got a bonus.
Hey, you step in on short notice, you get a nasty blood-curdling finish where Herb Dean's worried about the guy after the fight. That's bonus.
Deserve one. You deserve one for sure. All right, man.
Yeah,
Covering,
next week. Next week's the big one. UFC 296, Leon Edwards versus Colby, Chaos Covington, Alexandre Pantoja versus Brandon Royval for the rematch, Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Tony Ferguson versus Paddy the Batty Pimblett, Vicente Luque versus Ian Machado Gary, Josh Emmett versus Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell.
Is Ian Machado Gary still fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be a press conference for the ages. Huh?
Dude, I just seemed like he was like, I'm worried about the safety of my family with all this stuff going on. I was like, dude, your family's safe, bro. I think you're in danger in this press conference. You're the one that's in danger. Nobody else.
HLB Comer says, last UFC event coming up. How about a live watch along next week? I don't know if your schedule permits that, Ramiro, but I'm open to that idea.
I could take a look. Your boy's been busy.
Yeah, I know it's been tough. Alonzo Menafield versus Dustin Jacoby's a really good fight. Tagier Olombekov versus Cody Durden.
Ian's career is over. It's been a rough go the last couple of weeks.
I wonder if Muslim Salikov's on here. That's my fucking dog, dude, against Randy Brown. But I wonder if it's one of those things where as soon as he gets a win, everybody's going to talk about how good he looked, and then they'll forget about everything. You know?
I don't know.
Not everybody, obviously, but
yeah.
But that happens.
It's something that's going to continue coming up, though, man. Like, this isn't something that just blows away. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like Conor McGregor on a coke bender and charges are dropped. Like, he's still married to this girl. You know what I mean? Like, this
it's not John Jones getting pregnant with his car. He's just married to him.
No, people will forget that the next day.
Yeah.
Marry a gold digger, though? That's with you every fight after that.
Your career's a wrap, dog.
Your career's a wrap.
Choke as many prostitutes as you want. But marry someone.
Shoot guns outside with the homeless man if you want to, John Jones style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this.
HB Comer says, I got Luque. I hope Luque wins just for his health. I don't want to see him taking shots to the head, dude. That brain bleed, I just don't want to see him fight. So if he is going to fight, I hope he wins. He also just seems like a good dude. Luque's always seemed like a good dude. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about a fight companion or something. That would be fun, but it's the holidays and shit is busy. So we'll see.
For sure. All right. Well, shout out HLB Comer, Ganscow. I know we had Genevieve on there as well. Blunderbub. Always a ton of fun. Colleen joined us also. But
Tony,
whenever everybody joins us, Tony was on here too. That's right. It's a lot of fun though, right? So for anybody joining us first time, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find us pretty much anywhere podcasts are found, right, Will?
Yeah, at Story of the Fight on everything: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, Threads, storyofthefight.com. We'll list all of them. You can click through, hit follow on all of them. It also has our merch website where you can get that sweet stitched beanie that Ramiro's wearing here. Story of the Fight podcast with the Pride font. We got shirts, we got hoodies. Storyofthefight.com. Love it.
This show right here, just so you know, even late at night, produced by Richard Bustos. There we go. Late night edition. Story of the Fight.